north, east, south, and west. It's time for a news update from Gals Guide Library and Research Center. Welcome to the third edition of the Gals Guide to the Galaxy News for August 16th, 2019. I'm Dr. Leah Leach, the Executive Director of Gals Guide to the Galaxy. This episode is brought to you by diamonds. Diamonds, that sparkly jewel manifesting itself because of the right temperature and pressure. Created in the earth, in outer space, or in a lab. They say diamonds are a girl's best friend. But how did diamonds become the object of Marilyn Monroe's BFF status? It couldn't possibly have been manufactured, could it? I mean, you did know that scientists can make diamonds in a lab, right? Diamonds are 100% carbon, just like the graphite in your pencil. Both diamonds and graphite are made of the same stuff, just arranged differently, giving them different strengths. But now, if diamonds and graphite are basically the same, why don't we give pencils for engagements? Because advertising. Oh, it is a manufactured friendship. I know it! Just like my old MySpace page or high school or these lyrics from Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Time rolls on and youth is gone and you can't straighten up when you bend, but stiff back or stiff knees, you can stand straight at Tiffany's. Diamonds, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. Wow. Written by Rabin and Stein, it sounds like some wishful drinking to me. So believe it or not, Ripley fans, diamonds were not that popular, and even less so after the Great Depression. This wasn't great news to the diamond company De Beers, so they hired an advertising company, N.W. Ayers and Son, and it would be copywriter Mary Frances Giretti who was assigned the task of creating a slogan. She came up with, "A diamond is forever." Initially hesitant on the improper grammar, the slogan has been used in every De Beers ad since 1948, linking diamonds to engagement rings and the idea of an eternal romance or a James Bond movie. I mean, maybe it's both. If you're wondering about the outer space thing I said, yes, some diamonds, specifically Carbonado diamonds, are believed to have been deposited by an asteroid that impacted the Earth approximately 3 billion years ago. So some diamonds are really out of this world. So let's shine bright like a diamond, Riri, and start with library news. Girl Scout Troop 1747 had a book bonanza for their silver project and gave away free kids' books that they saved from a shredder. We were more than happy to foster 89 more books to the Gals Guide Library and Research Center. Among the great books we picked up were reference books on different Supreme Court cases, 2 new advertising books, and many beautifully illustrated biographies of amazing women in history. We are super grateful for this project. So where is our book collection total at? Well, I'm glad you asked. We have reached 740 women's history books in the library. Our goal is to reach 1,000 books in our first year. We have our eyes on the prize, but we could use your help. We have a tier on Patreon that helps buy books. We also take book donations. We'll take your used books off your hands. You can also order books off Amazon and ship them directly to us. Whichever way you can help, know it will make a big difference in the guy or gal who picks up that book. Laura's first book hunting haul came into the library. Laura found 6 amazing books ranging from Queen Noor of Jordan to Tamara Janowicz of New York Social Life. Thank you, Laura. If you would like to become a book hunter and search through used books to find women's history books for the library, visit galsguide.org and click on the library tab. Our library manager, Bonnie, is most excited about the addition of Rachel Carson and Her Sisters, Extraordinary Women Who Have Shaped America's Environment by Robert K. Musil. With Courage and Cloth, Winning the Fight for the Women's Right to Vote by Ann Bossum. And We Shall Not Be Moved, The Women's Factory Strike of 1909 by Joan Dash. Each month, we look for books in a specific research field, and for August, we're looking for books about women in advertising. And goodness, does the library need a variety in this area. We started the month with 2 books about advertising, Mad Women by Jane Moss and Women of Design by Bryony Gomez Palchinko and Armin Witt. Thanks to Girl Scout Troop 1747, we have now doubled our advertising collection to 4 books. However, for a field that struggles to stay with 15% of women in leadership roles, we should have more books on advertising to inspire people. Books perhaps like Mad Women, A Herstory of Advertising by Christina Knight, or Pioneering African American Women in Advertising Business, Biographies of Mad Black Women by Judy Foster Davis, Australian Women in Advertising in the 20th Century by Jay Dickerson, Food is Love, Advertising and Gender Roles in Modern America by Catherine J. Parkin, or, like you even heard of Katie talk about already this month on the podcast, Mary Wells Lawrence autobiography, A Big Life in Advertising. Bonnie put together 20 titles that would be a perfect addition to the library, and these were just a few of them. If you would like to send us these books either from Amazon Smile or from your personal collection, or see what other titles made the list, check out our website, galsguide.org, and click on the library tab. We have finished our proposal where we outline what Gals Guide needs to build our public location. We've got a few leads on spaces around Noblesville, Indiana, and we've applied for a new grant. But we are open to communities who want to be the home of the first independent women's history library in America. If you are somebody we should be talking to, or you know somebody who is, email us at info@galsguide.org. Changing to research news, we are celebrating and shining a spotlight on women in advertising in our book lists, in our articles, and in our podcasts. Every Monday is a new Gals Guide to the Galaxy podcast where your gal pals bring you one cool thing. So far, you have heard about Bonnie talk about the documentary Misrepresentation, which shines a light on the negative impacts of advertising has on women and the culture. Katie talked about advertising pioneer Mary Wells Lawrence with her 30 houses, and she never has a plain plane. Coming up, my daughter and I are going to be talking about advertising campaigns that moved us, inspired us, and actually made us want to actively support their products. So start your week off by downloading the Gals Guide podcast, and you'll never have a case of the Mondays. End the work week with Flashback Friday that ties into our research theme. This month has been a little bit harder for the flashback episodes. We've never covered advertising before, and so we noticed we were a little lacking in this area, so we are working on that because representation matters. So even though we are stretching the net of women in advertising for the flashback episodes, we are bringing you interesting women who used advertising to sell their products and sell their legendary status. Coming up is Madam C.J. Walker and Babe Dickerson Zaharias. As always, check out our research tab at galsguide.org for all of our research discoveries. Changing to podcast updates, we asked previous gal pals if they have any updates on their one cool things that they have shared, and we have updates and a correction. I am happy to report that our 16-year-old gal pal this month, Cammie, did in fact get the Lego Mustang that she was eyeing. She's very happy and not yet asking to get her driver's license or a real Mustang. There's still time. We also have an advanced correction. Coming up on Monday's episode, it's Cammie's one cool thing. And during our Get to Know You question, you're going to hear me talk about a commercial. Now, I won't ruin it for you, but I did get 2 things wrong. The ad was for Diet Coke, not Pepsi, and it was a mom, not a kid, battling the fridge for a soda. I realized my faux pas after the recording, and I have felt bad ever since. I know it's not a big deal, but alas, I'm human, and the commercial I was trying to remember was from 1989. Let's just say when it came to choosing Diet Coke or Pepsi, I chose poorly. This will all make sense on Monday's episode. We also have an update to our Gunhild Carling episode from Music Month. You know, the gal who plays a ton of instruments. Well, I wasn't sure of all the instruments she plays, and we got a message from Johan Blum, who let us know that Gunhild, along with her myriad of wind instruments and the harp, she also plays the violin, drums, bass, and ukulele, which is flippin' fantastic. So thanks to Johan for letting us know and for listening. We love knowing people listen, and we love adding to our knowledge of cool gals we cover on the show. Now, one last podcast update, and I really can't believe I have not screamed it from the top of the show. Speaking of Gunhild Carling, we got a message from her. She wrote to to us saying, thanks for the great program. You are too sweet and wonderful and super cool. And then she had like 10 hearts afterwards. It was like a stamp of approval. We are over the moon because it was completely unexpected. I mean, Gunhild thinks we're cool. That's so cool. We're excited. If you are still listening, Gunhild, keep rocking those tour dates and keep that contagious passion. We will do our best to keep it cool and classy. Well, at least we will keep it cool. We can't promise on the classy. Now, new in the Gals Guide Redbubble shop this month is a design of Cammie's quote, partial nepotism beneficiary, perfect for family reunions, interning at your mom's nonprofit, or if you are seventh in line to the throne of Sweden. Who doesn't love a little partial benefit from a little nepotism? Now on Redbubble, search for the Gals Guide shop. All proceeds go towards the Gals Guide Library. There are lots of ways to support Gals Guide: Patreon, Amazon Smile, Kroger Rewards, our Redbubble shop. But this month, donate. We've got plans to build the first independent women's history library and create a community hub as well as a destination pilgrimage for those around the world. We have researched what librarians as well as patrons wish they could have in a library. We've also thought out of the box. We will provide for the community a place where men, women, and children can escape their hectic lives, where they can feel welcome and inspired, a melting together of a library and a Starbucks and a cozy living room. A place where our guides are like cast members from Walt Disney World, and the energy is positive and world-changing like at a Girl Scout meeting. If that sounds like a cool place that needs to be in existence, then you can make it happen. Consider a $20 donation today at galsguide.org. Check out that supporters tab. We share women's history because we care about women's history, so support positivity. That's the news for now. Stay tuned for Monday is Cammie's one cool advertising thing. Until then, read on, Galactic Glamazons.